Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to tackle one of the absolute deepest, most persistent philosophical paradoxes humanity has ever faced. Drawing on insights from the Risale-e-Nur, we are going to break down the clash between divine omniscience and human free will. And hey, don't worry, we aren't going to get bogged down in dense academic jargon here. We're going to explore this using completely relatable, everyday analogies that make the abstract surprisingly tangible. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this head first by bringing up the ultimate theological question that has honestly stumped humanity for centuries. If God already knows the result, why have a test at all? I mean, it's a completely fair question, right? Think about it for a second. If the end of your life's journey, the absolute final destination, is already 100% known before you even take your very first step, what is the point of walking the path? Why does this life actually need to happen in real time?
Section 1. The Pre-Exam Zero. A failing grade before you even begin.
To really wrap our heads around this paradox, imagine walking into a classroom to take a massive final exam. Your teacher looks right at you and says, "I know you. You're going to fail." And immediately, before you even have a chance to pick up a pencil, she writes a giant 0 on your paper. Naturally, you'd object. You'd probably shout, "Wait, maybe I was actually going to study this time." And honestly, you would be completely justified in that objection. Because in that scenario, you are being unfairly judged on an abstract prediction. The teacher's grading you on what she thinks you're going to do. But now, imagine an entirely different scenario. The blank exam. Imagine you actually sit down. You deliberately chose not to study. You willingly leave every single answer completely blank, and you hand the paper in. You still fail, and the ultimate result is exactly the same. But now that result is intrinsically connected to what you actually did. It is owned entirely by you.
Section 2. Not for new information. Debunking the waiting God. So we need to entirely scrap a very common, yet totally incorrect assumption about this paradox. The answer to why we're tested cannot simply be so God can find out. If you think the purpose of human life is so God can figure out what we're going to do, you've completely misunderstood the nature of the test. An all-knowing being doesn't need to run a physical simulation to discover an unknown variable.
God is not watching human history unfold like you or I would watch a suspenseful thriller at the movie theater. He isn't sitting there waiting in anticipation for our next move, or looking down at our unpredictable choices and thinking, "Wow, didn't see that coming." The ultimate reality here is that the test is not a mechanism for God to gain new information. He already has it all. So logically, if the test is not for him, who exactly is it for?
Well, the crucial point is that the test is actually a mechanical process designed solely for you. Step 1, you choose. Step 2, you act. Step 3, your qualities appear. You see, the test is the necessary bridge that connects your inner invisible choices to real physical actions in the world. It's the only way your true qualities can cross over from potential to actual reality. Without the action, your choices are just ghosts of ideas. They desperately need the resistance of the physical world to become real.
Section 3. Claims versus reality, putting virtues to the test.
In a purely theoretical world, anyone can claim to have amazing virtues. I can claim to be a hero, or you can claim to be extremely generous. It's totally painless to make those claims in the abstract because it costs absolutely nothing. But we only truly see the reality of your character when you're faced with an actual, real-world scenario. A person genuinely in need stands right in front of you, and you actually have money in your pocket. In that exact moment of testing, we see something real. The claim is forced to become an action.
And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates the hilarious gap between our self-perception and reality. You might walk around making the abstract claim, "I'm incredibly patient," but man, nothing crushes the claim of infinite patience quite like a random internet outage. When your Wi-Fi suddenly disappears for 4 minutes while you're trying to watch a video, that's when the real research begins. That minor frustration is a test revealing the undeniable truth of your claim. Are you actually patient, or did you just really like the idea of being patient?
Life is essentially the ultimate research laboratory that turns every single abstract claim into a concrete reality. It forces invisible potential to manifest as undeniable physical acts. Kindness must become a tangible act. Cruelty becomes an act. Honesty becomes an act. Selfishness becomes an act. Through the constant, grinding friction of daily choices, a person reveals exactly what kind of person they are becoming. You can't just be honest in your head. Honesty only actually exists when you tell the truth in a moment where a lie would be much, much easier.
Section 4. What are you becoming? The arena of human freedom.
Now that we've established that the test isn't for God to learn anything new, we have to face the existential weight of what this test is actually doing to us on a daily basis. According to the profound insights found in the 10th and 26th words of the Risale Nur, worldly life is not some pointless pop quiz. Rather, it is the essential arena where human freedom takes physical form. Your free will is literally just a theoretical concept until it hits the arena of life, faces that friction we just talked about, and becomes an action. That action is what defines your existence.
This loops us right back to our original classroom analogy. When it comes to a final judgment, resurrection, and ultimate justice, you won't be confronted with a hypothetical, abstract prediction of your character. You won't be judged on the pre-exam zero. Instead, you'll be faced with the undeniable, irrefutable reality of your own lived choices. You're graded on the exam you actually chose to fill out, page by page, decision by decision.
So, with all of this in mind, we can permanently strike this question from our minds. Why does God need the test? Asking why God needs to test humanity is fundamentally the wrong approach, because the simple truth is, He doesn't need it at all. He is entirely self-sufficient. The test isn't for His benefit, it is the vital infrastructure required for your freedom.
Instead, the only question you really need to ask yourself as you navigate the everyday, sometimes incredibly frustrating tests of your life, whether that's deciding to help a stranger or just dealing with a broken Wi-Fi router, is this. What kind of person are you becoming through the choices you make? Every single action is a stroke of the pen on your exam paper. So, if the ink dried right now and the paper was handed in, would you be proud of the reality you've written? Thank you for joining me for this explainer, and I'll leave you to think on that.